This is Rhyme Makers Live.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Rhyme Makers. Today, it is my pleasure to bring you the first installment of the Rhyme Makers podcast. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Wade William, A.K.A DB.
What's good? What's good?
Yes, Wade is actually an artist from the island of St. Lucia, like myself. Wade, if you want, you can go ahead, give a little 30-second quick introduction of yourself.
Yeah, man, what you don't know? My name is Wade, A.K.A DB, that's the alias there. Part of the Ocean View team, so big up the gang one time, or the gang for them that you don't know. Big up the man, Drum Ninja, Caleb, Rashados, Azi, Kamikaze, so Pedrox, all of the goons from the OV gang, extremely talented individuals, and yeah, for sure. Together we will make something happen, man, and make it happen big. So one name, man.
Yes. Yes, I. Well, definitely thanks for being the first guest on the Rhyme Makers podcast. Really appreciate that.
For sure.
So let's dive right into it. So I noticed, well, of course, Wade William is your government name, right? Your real name.
Yeah, for sure.
So how did you with so many people in music, a lot of people decide to pick a different stage name. At the same time, a lot of people do use their real name. So how did that decision come about for you personally?
Um, to be honest, like the name didn't really like to say like I just say okay, let me put Wade as my artist name. Wade is just that's what everybody calls me because that's my middle. That's not actually my first name.
Right.
My first name is Siobhan, but Wade is the one that's always been used. So it's
Okay.
like okay, let's just stick with that. It wasn't like a decision. It was like okay, just run with that.
Right.
Maybe
Okay,
one day it
okay.
will change, but
Okay. Cool. But if you well, since you mentioned that, if you did have to pick a name right now off the top of your head, what would that be?
boy, right now there, imagine one of my older brothers, he does be calling me with the artist and stuff like that.
Okay,
So
okay.
I just said, what, maybe one day I can shorten them to like WDA,
Okay.
maybe,
Okay.
like
Yeah,
that's the only thought I ever really had. So
true. All right. So obviously we've hung out a bunch of times at different recording sessions and so on. I noticed that you're very confident in your rapping abilities as well as your singing abilities. So how did
mhm.
you first get into music in general?
Okay, okay. Now the thing about me before like time out of school and stuff like yeah I was always singing but never really put my mind on like okay maybe I can do music for my life and stuff. It was more after I left school, Caleb, Caleb, my partner,
Right.
my brother from another mother. Um, he always used to hear me sing and thing, and he always thought I had a vibe at it now. The thing about him, he's a drummer and stuff. And before I always used to be going to his gigs and stuff with him and thing. And for me, like the more I went with him, the more I got more of a vibe to music, for music and everything like that.
Right.
But still I never really like based, okay, like, oh, I could be a musician one day, an artist or something. And he always used to, like he's somebody who's always encouraging me and always motivating me and things. And like one day, that's I already left school, I used to go Leones and stuff. I already left school. One day, I was in the yard and thing. He brought me by Rashad next site because they lived very close together and stuff in the studio and thing. And like from there, like he pushed me to because he used to freestyle and thing, do their thing in his studio and thing. And then it's he that really pushed me to say, oh, you do something, like. And then from
Right.
that day, it's like yeah, just really got more and more interested in it and just realized I had a vibe for it, a potential for it.
So it's kind of like you Caleb, aka Drum Ninja, kind of saw the potential in you, and then through that encouragement that he
Yeah,
gave you, you kind of found it within yourself to start expressing
yeah,
on the mic and thing. All right, that's very interesting. Very
yes, for sure.
interesting. So in those early stages though, like when you were just kind of, I guess, like when you were doing it kind of just like as a hobby or just messing around with it, like, or even to the point, or even at the point where you kind of started taking it seriously, how much time or how much emphasis did you spend on finding the right voice for you? What was that even a thought, or did it kind of just come naturally, like the voice you used to rap and to sing?
It well it, at, at at the start it was just me just doing it, but then after a while I got more into saying, you know what, let me try to find my own sound. Let me try to find my own vibe, because I sing a lot, like every day, bro. I don't care where I am, and like the more I do this, the more I get into know a lot of I get to learn a lot about my voice and sing. And I'm someone, I listen to a lot of music every day, non-stop.
Right.
And you know, I get inspiration from the songs that I listen to and stuff. And you know, each and every day from singing and everything like that, it's like, okay, I know what I need to work on, I know what I'm good at and stuff. But I'm somebody, I'm very critical of myself, because I'm not like, okay, like that. I don't have that mindset like, okay, I can do it already. Check. I always have that mindset like, okay, I need to do better, I need to try to improve and everything like that, you know, in finding, not just knowing how to sing properly, but you know, just finding my own vibe and finding my own sound.
Right. So you mentioned that you do consume a lot of music. What, and I noticed that you actually make music across like several different genres: dancehall, reggae, hip hop, um,
Mhm.
whatever it might be, R&B, Afro. Like what?
Mhm.
So what would you say? Like, is there a genre that you listen to the most or that inspires you the most, or is it just kind of
Um,
a big mix?
it's, you see, lo-fi hip hop and neo soul music, R&B, hip hop as well, you know, like these kinds of J. Cole kind of vibe, jazzy kind
Right.
of vibe, rap. These are what I really see that inspire me the most, because that's the most music that I listen to. That's that specific genre, like neo soul and anything. That's, I listen to that more than anything
Okay.
else.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm from the Caribbean. Imagine I don't even listen to soca, like again, to be honest. Like I listen to soca. I love soca music, but I don't really consume it as I used to before.
Yeah. So for those
Yeah.
watching in like the States, but pretty much everyone watching outside of the Caribbean right now, if you don't know what soca music is, it's kind of a music indigenous to the Caribbean. It's very popular down here. So what DB is saying is that he doesn't even really listen to it as much. I myself, I'm guilty of the same. I don't even really listen to that much soca music myself. But let's move on to actually the topic of freestyling, because I notice you do that a lot on your TikTok. You always post them on your IG and your YouTube as well, doing different freestyles, different what they call it on TikTok, where someone posts a video and they, oh yeah,
Duets.
duets, right? You do a lot of those duets and freestyles. So like freestyling, I've talked to a lot of different artists, even artists who have been writing music for a long time, and even some of them might be a little uncomfortable when it comes to freestyling, you know, just going with the flow. So how did you really find your abilities in freestyling, just going off the top?
Okay. When it comes to freestyling and thing, I still don't think that I am that good. Like I have these moments where I'm just in the zone and I just flow. Like for me, when you're freestyling, overthinking is something that 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 really shakes you off your game and stuff. When you overthink while you're freestyling, and Caleb was one of the person who taught me that and stuff. Although I'm still not that good at it and stuff, at times, you know, I'll really come down good and stuff. At times I'll be studying and, you know, not knowing what to say because, you know, I'll be overthinking at times. But that's definitely something I would say that that really prevents me from really getting to that other level when it comes to freestyling. But it's something, yeah, I'll have to
And
get over eventually.
I guess you actually answered the next question I had too, because I was going to ask
Oh,
what tip you would give to like somebody who's struggling with freestyling to help get them better. But you already said it's like kind of just not
and
overthinking it.
I would say it's what you know too as well, you know. You
And
know, like if you like to me, like if your knowledge and thing is limited, like for example reading a lot and gaining a lot of knowledge and stuff
right,
really does
right,
help
right.
in that and stuff. So them time you can use that into your
Yeah, essentially like
stuff.
giving yourself more ingredients to cook with.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well said.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Hmm.
And what about like flow? Like like what process, or how do you think about flow, like when you go in, when you're approaching even um writing a song, like what's kind of your process for writing and like finding the correct flow to go with a beat? Like what do you think about when you going
Okay.
through that process?
Okay. When it comes to the flow, to me, like I don't know. I just think that that's just natural to me. Like one thing I've learned when writing and stuff, and when I like if I want to flow with something, I will like go with a melody first. That's one thing I've learned. Like if you're hearing a beat, don't sing anything over it. Like just look for a melody that goes with the beat, and then you can write
Mhm.
something to so them time that you can properly flow and stuff with that instrumental or that beat. That's one way I go about doing it.
Right. So you're saying kind of so you're saying to kind of like catch the melody with not
Yeah.
necessarily with any words at first.
But anyways, you
Just
can hum it. You can you humming it
yeah,
in your head. When you get that melody, you write down something to go.
with it. Got
Yeah.
you, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of I use kind of a similar process myself. Always starting with like a freestyle or just like a humming or just mumbling something out and then kind of put the words
Yeah.
together
Yeah.
as well. So
I'm not
um
gonna lie. There are times, like for me as an artist, like I'll be like surprising myself because I'll be like, wow,
yeah.
I can do that, like, So
Yeah. I know exactly
so there
what
are
you
them
mean.
times when you're in this zone and you're just surprising yourself, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So actually back to your kind of like your brand, right? I noticed on Instagram and even on your YouTube, you use like, so of course you have your logo, the DB and then DBA, and then I noticed you kind of use like a lot of like black and whites or like glitchy or even like animated style filters in your
Mm-hmm.
videos. Is that deliberate branding, or is that just kind of did that just kind of happen?
To be honest, I would say like a little bit of both, because it's like it
Mhm.
was appealing to me, and I'm not somebody who really likes bright colors. Like a little darker, a black or white or gray, like these kinds of things are, that is appealing to me.
Yeah.
But
Would you say that's because of kind of like your personality? Does it reflect your personality in some way or not really?
maybe a little, not all the way dark, I'm not, but yeah, you can say that a little bit. Not
Okay, gotcha. So in terms of going back to the music now, um yeah, so going back to like the songwriting aspect now, do you have topics that you generally keep in mind that you like to write about, or are you just open to kind of when you're in the vibe kind of just writing about anything?
yeah. It's more when I'm in the vibe.
Okay.
At times, like if we're in the studio and stuff, and we want to make something. Um, sorry, we want to write about something specific. Well, then we would, stick to a topic or whatever, and go ahead. But most of the time, it's more catching a vibe and just whatever comes. Yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah, because I know like the I'm starting to see a lot of like underground artists that kind of have um I don't want to say, well, yeah, I guess in terms of like a lane, they kind of have a lane where they pick a certain topic and then they kind of just run with it. Like certain artists are very known for writing love songs, and some artists are known specifically for doing very like street gangster songs. Other artists, it might be business, entrepreneurship, money, that type of thing.
But to me, at the end of the day, it's what you can relate to. You know,
Right.
it's more what you relate to as an artist and stuff. If you grew up in an area that it was just bare violence, and that's how you had to survive, and that is what your music would portray and stuff like that. So yeah, there's that.
Got you. That makes sense. So is there an artist, a particular artist, or maybe a couple of them that you would say maybe hold a special place above all the rest in terms of your inspirations? Somebody you look up to?
Okay, well, since I listen to mostly hip hop and stuff like that, I would say, okay, J. Cole for me is my favorite artist, my favorite rapper, hip hop artist. J. Cole, like I listen to a lot of his music. I find yes, his music does inspire me and stuff. But I must say the just being around the local artists here like Rashad, KO,
Yeah.
Jen, all of them, it's like, yo, I get way more inspiration from them just being around them and just listening to their music and just seeing the fellas moving the way that they do. And, it really
Mm-hmm.
does inspire me a lot due to the fact that they're around me and stuff.
Right.
Like, I have so much respect for them. And, I just, one day I just really want to show that, I can, I run with the big dogs, you check my shit,
Right. Right.
you know?
I'm glad that you actually said that too, because a lot of people sometimes um will try and look straight to the top instead of looking sideways when there's so many people like right in our own communities, right in our own areas that can bring
Mhm.
inspiration, or that can, that we can actually access rather than putting people like, kind of out there on a pedestal.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I really appreciate that answer you gave. Um, kind of, on a final note, since we are
Mhm.
speaking to an audience of a lot of that includes a lot of beginners and a lot of people trying to improve. Let's say there's somebody out there that's kind of brand new. They maybe have a musical interest, um, and they want to get started. What would be the advice from you to them?
Don't listen to anybody that tries to prevent you from doing what you love. Even if you're not good now, if you continue, you're definitely going to be better one day, far above what you even expected. For sure, that's one advice I would give somebody. And even for me, I'm still trying. I'm still trying. So I'm not up there yet, but I'm still trying, and I'm never going to stop regardless of what you check why you, because I know that's what I want to do with my life. And I'm just so thankful the fact that I realized that at such a young age too. I'm just 24, and like the fact that I know that that is what I want to do, and I know I have people around me that wants the same for me, that motivates me each and every day. And people really need to get that type of circle, people who motivate you, people who wants to see you do well, and but you want, the same, you do the same for them as well,
Right.
and with that kind of circle, you all grow together, and not only as an individual, but as a team, as you all grow together, and that's what I can give to the advice I'll give to somebody who's just starting out.
Awesome. Awesome. So once again, thank you, Wade, for coming and appearing as the first guest on the Rhyme Makers podcast. It was a pleasure
Yeah, man.
talking music and rhyme making with you. And to those out there watching, pay attention to what Wade just said, because that's very, very true. Always surround yourself with the right people and ignore the hate. Keep doing what you do. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notification bells for more interviews coming soon. Rhyme makers, play some music, write a rhyme. You don't know. Big up yourself, Wade.
My